Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. I'm Inxlaura123 and this is going to be a story time video. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be telling you about the time that I beat up my dad's girlfriend at a bus stop. It's the most random title of a video I think I've done in a while. But yes, I beat up my dad's girlfriend at a bus stop, and I want to just say at the very beginning, this happened many years ago. Okay, so it weren't like yesterday or anything. It was years ago. So I'd say either 12 or 13. It was kind of either age. It was around about that age, and this is what happened. So basically, my mum and dad were married, and my daddy was a very naughty man, and he cheated on my mummy. Why am I saying mummy and daddy like I'm like 10 or something? I don't know. I do call my mum mummy. I don't call my dad daddy. Anyway, let me start this again because it's all going wrong from the start. Right, okay. Mum and dad were married. Dad cheated on my mum, and he cheated on her with a lady that he worked with. And yeah, so it wasn't very nice, obviously. My mum and dad did split up, and it was a horrible time, you know. We found out that he was cheating, and yeah, it's never nice to know that your dad's cheated on your mum. And I had to go through all the horrible time and the breakup and mum finding out, and it was just horrible, especially as she knew the person who it was, and they would often like talk over the phone and stuff, and this woman was like really friendly to my mum and to me, and all, you know, behind our back she was kind of cheating, you know, with my dad. So when it all come out, it was a big drama. It was a horrible time, you know, for everyone involved pretty much. But basically I knew who it was, obviously, and me and my mum were driving past in the car, and we saw at the bus stop, I saw my dad's girlfriend. So by the way, he's still with her now, which I'll get into in a little while. It does have a happy ending, this story, by the way. Anyway, so we were driving past in the car, and I saw my dad's girlfriend just standing there at the bus stop, you know, obviously waiting for a bus like you do at a bus stop. And I don't know what happened. I think it was all the emotion that kind of built up inside of me, and that kind of sadness and the anger and just like everything, betrayal, like all these emotions. And I was a teenager, so I was going through all my kind of hormonal thing as well. And I was just like, Mum, stop the car, stop the car. And she was like, what's going on? I was like, Mum, just stop the car. So literally I jumped out of the car. She stopped. I jumped out of the car. I ran over to the bus stop, and I saw her standing there, and I just literally, I was like a bull seeing a red flag. I went freaking crazy at her. Bearing in mind, it was quite a busy time of the day. There was a lot of people at this bus stop. It wasn't like a quiet time, so there's lots of people watching as well. I'm cringing right now just thinking about it, yeah. And yeah, I just went like, I just let loose. I went crazy. I was punching her. I was kicking her. I was pulling her hair. I was literally, oh, it was awful. Like, looking back, I do feel really bad actually now. But it was just this, as I say, all this emotion built up, and I just saw her, and in my mind, like, she was the woman who had broke up, you know, my family, my mum and dad, you know. And I'm a mummy's girl, so, you know, anyone that kind of messed over my mum, you know, made me feel like even more angry, you know. So yeah, I just literally was going for her. I was punching her, I was pushing her, it was awful. And it had to take like quite a few of the people at the bus stop to like pull me off her. Like, yes, I'm only little, I'm only 4'11", but I'm quite feisty, and, you know, yeah, I'm lovely and sweet and fun and giggly and stupid and all that. But if someone sets me off, I do kind of, yeah, I do see anger, and I just, yeah, I was very feisty, and I just wanted to get at her basically and make her feel crap, and just take my anger out and get all that kind of pent up anger out onto her. And yeah, they were like pulling me off, and as much as people were pulling me away from her, I was like pulling back and trying to kick her, and it was not very nice until like my mum like pulled over somewhere. She parked up, she'd come over to me, and like she was really awkward, and I feel really terrible. I feel really terrible with the whole thing, which I'll get to in a minute, but I felt really terrible for my mum also, because she'd kind of seen all this, and she didn't like need any of the hassle she was going through at the time. She didn't need me like making a idiot myself and attacking some lady at a bus stop, you know, even though that lady was the woman who had, you know, gone off my dad. But yeah, so she kind of calmed me down, people got me off her, and I got back into the car. My dad went absolutely crazy at me that night, because I was, like, when my mum and dad split up, I didn't really talk to my dad that much. I went through, like, a year, pretty much, not really talking to him that much. I was just so like I was so angry and felt this betrayal, and knowing that he'd like gone behind her back and just done, you know, that, and just, yeah, it wasn't very nice to go through. And the way he treated my mum wasn't very nice as well. He'd always shout her and put her down and not be very nice to her. So yeah, he and myself didn't get on for quite a while, and he really had a go at me for, like, you know, attacking his partner, and that kind of made me more angry, because I thought, like, you know, why is he sticking up for this woman over me? I'm his daughter. But anyway, so that was then. And then over the years, my dad stayed with the same person who he's still with now. And I mean, this was years ago. I'm 38 years old now, so it was a long time ago that he got with his girlfriend. And it's weird saying girlfriend, because she's obviously an older lady now, so woman friend now. But at the time, you know, she was younger, even though she's actually older than my dad. So anyway, but yeah, so that over the years it was just really awkward. Like I started to kind of build up a relationship again with my dad over the years. He used to start coming around, like, on a weekend, or we'd go out somewhere and I'd just spend time with him, and it was nice that I didn't lose my dad. I didn't want to, like, hate my dad forever, you know, but I could never really get over that anger that I felt towards him of what he'd done. But I could see him and my mum start to kind of, you know, bury the hatchet, get on better, and just kind of, you know, move on with their lives. And I was just like, why am I, you know, just going around with all this hate and stuff? It's not going to solve anything. I don't want to lose my dad. I would never, like, if I was to ring, and my dad moved in with his girlfriend, and if I was to ring the flat, if she would answer the phone, I would just hang up. Like, I wouldn't talk to her, but I wouldn't, like, be horrible or anything. I just wouldn't talk to her. And yeah, so that kind of carried on for a long while, where I'd accepted that she was with him, you know, and in a way I'm pleased that he didn't just kind of go off with some, you know, young girl and had, like, a week affair and that was it, and ruin the whole marriage and family vibe. You know, he did actually stay with her. There is something solid there. So that's, you know, kind of something positive out of a negative, if that makes any sense to anyone. At least it was someone who he really genuinely does love and care about, and they got so much in common and stuff. So so yeah, it kind of went on like that. And then if I'd see them in the street, you know, I'd go from ignoring her to kind of smiling at her, and then just, you know, be like, all right, and then, you know, a little conversation would start. So there wasn't that kind of anger as such, but I still didn't want to be like a best friend, you know. I didn't want to be like hugs and kisses and, hey, how you doing, you know, welcome to the family, you broke my mum and dad's marriage up. Anyway, but so that was that. Fast forward a long time, and basically 3 years ago, I think it's either 3 or 4 years ago, I think it's 3 years ago now, my dad found out he had bowel cancer, and he was very bad. You know, at some point he didn't even know if he would make it. He didn't know how bad it was, how, you know, aggressive the cancer was. And yeah, obviously as soon as he got ill and got diagnosed, it was like, whoa, mass panic, you know. And I think in that time, I don't want to get emotional right now. I always say I don't want to get emotional in these videos, and I always get emotional, but yeah, I kind of felt like I just wanted to really bond with my dad, and I wanted to get close again to him, and not just, you know, any kind of animosity and anger that was there. I just wanted to let it go fully, and to do that was to kind of accept his partner and just kind of get on with her. And I saw, actually, what kind of changed me and how I am now with her to what I was then. I saw how caring she was and how loving she was to my dad. And my dad was very bad. Like, if any of you remember, because I know a lot of you have been watching me on my other channel for a long while as well, remember the photos of my dad. My dad, you know, lost so much weight. He was very ill and frail, and, you know, his partner would do everything for him. Like, she literally, you know, she was so nice to him, and she helped him, and she'd go up the hospital every single day. She'd be there for like hours and hours, so he wasn't on his own, and she'd take him stuff, and she'd try and cheer him up. And I think when I saw that, I was just like, look, you know, any kind of awkwardness I felt with her was just kind of like replaced with respect. A respect, and also to see how much, you know, she really did love him, and how much he loves her, and how much they, like, rely on each other and care about each other. And then, you know, yeah, you start to go up the hospital, and she's there, and we started chatting a bit more, and then the more I kind of got to know her a little bit, and you get over that kind of initial awkwardness of who she is, it was like, you know what, you're not a bad person. You just fell in love with my dad, you know, who was obviously with my mum. But I'm not condoning adultery in any way. Like, I can't stand it when people cheat. I think it's awful. But it happens in life. It happens, you know. And I think, you know, whereas my mum and dad are concerned, like, as much as they loved each other, they wouldn't, you know, well, maybe in the early days they were suited, but as time went on, they were not suited as a couple. They have very different, you know, interests and hobbies. And, you know, when my dad with his partner, like, they've got so much in common. They kind of remind me of, like, me and Nathan, where they've got all the things in common and they do stuff together. They go places that they like. And him and my mum were not like that. Like, he was more of a kind of outdoors person and a bookworm, whereas my mum doesn't really like going out apart from shopping and, you know, watching the soap operas and just, I don't know, just like lots of different things. They were very different, whereas with his partner, very, very, you know, similar. And yeah, basically as my dad got, you know, luckily, thank God, he got better, and she was really looking after him to help him get better. And, you know, eventually, I think it took a while, but eventually, I went round to my dad's and his partner's flat, which I'd not done before, because they'd moved a few times. They'd been living at different places, and whenever I'd seen my dad over the years, it was always he'd come to this house and see me, or I'd meet him like in public. Like, I wouldn't go to his flat, which was really weird. Over the years, it's a long time that I never went to my dad's flat. Partly because I was worried that she would be there, and also partly because I didn't want to like see anything of their relationship like in my face. Like, it just felt a bit too touchy, triggering and stuff. So yeah, obviously when my dad was really ill and he couldn't come around here, you know, he could barely walk, you know, he was in a lot of pain and stuff, and I was like, grow the up, Laura, you know, get around there, just go and visit him, and Nathan come with me as well. And we just sat there in my dad's flat with his partner, and do you know what, it just felt so nice. It felt so nice to sit with both of them, and like, even in a time of awfulness, because obviously he was very much in pain and ill, it was just, you know, we could have a little laugh about stuff and talk about old times, and it didn't feel awkward, it didn't feel strained, it actually felt really nice to be around her. And yeah, since then, since my dad's been ill, she is literally, it's gone from one extreme of me hitting her at a bus stop and attacking her and pulling her hair, to a point now where I actually really like her. Like, I genuinely care about her and like her, and I kind of see her like, you know, like a kind of stepmom figure. Like, she'll never be my mum, because my mum is my mum. I love my mum to bits, you know. And there's always going to be a little part of me which is a bit like, you shouldn't have done that. But you know, 98% of me is just like, do you know what? It's all good. You and my dad are good together. I know that. I think everyone knows that. And you know, even like my mum and her, they get on really well, which sounds so weird, but it's so true. You know, my mum realised that her and my dad weren't meant to be either, and it was the best thing for her as well in the long run to split up and be apart, even though at the time it hurt like crazy for my mum, you know, as it would. But she's realised that they're not suited, and them two are, and she gets on so well with both of them. And now, like, they come round and we have like family evenings, like, all together. So it'd be my mum, my dad, his partner, me, Nathan, and sometimes our friend Kelly as well come round. So it's like a big kind of, you know, like, happiness family vibe. You know, there's no like awkwardness or coldness or anything. We all get on, we all have a laugh together. Like, they come round at Christmas and we all have like Christmas party and give each other presents, and if it's one of our birthdays, they'll come round. And a firework night, we have a little fireworks party. We play like family bingo, like every couple of weeks we do like family bingo and stuff. And you know, it's so weird to say it out loud, but in reality it just works. Like, it's not conventional, but I think that's a good thing. I think these days, like, things aren't as, you know, as they used to be, and things aren't as conventional, like, family wise, which I think is kind of cool. Like, as long as you all get on, like, what does it matter? There shouldn't be, you have to be this, you have to be that. Do whatever, as long as you're happy, you know. And I really like her, I really care about her, and I actually really get on with her well, and we've got a lot of stuff in common. We both love like reading, and we'll sit and talk about books and stuff, or certain TV shows we like. And me and my dad and his partner and Nathan, we all like kind of paranormal, spooky stuff, so we'll be having like a paranormal chat about ghosts, and I don't know, like, we all just get on. And you know, looking back, like, I do regret being that angry, and that, because number one, yeah, violence does not solve anything. It is ridiculous, and it's pointless, and it's disrespectful. I don't know, it's really weird. I know why I did it, And I have to like give myself, or my younger self, a kind of respect and think, well, I get why you done it. You needed to get it out of your system. But at the same point, it wasn't good. It wasn't nice. I shouldn't have done it. But I was a lot younger then, and as I say, I was going through all that stuff and my own kind of, you know, hormones as a teenager, and I didn't really understand it. You know, I didn't understand how, you know, why would Dad love this person when he should love my mum, and why is he leaving me? Why is he leaving our house? You know, it's just going to be me and my mum. I'm really scared. And it was all that, and there was this kind of woman who I put all the blame on, which was unfair because it was a whole kind of mixture of things why it all happened, you know. But yeah, my dad and his partner are really happy together. I really like her. I like her. I do. I like her. Like I've never ever brought up since, like, you know, do you remember what happened at the bus stop years ago, you know, when I kind of beat you up? Because it's just like, it's just so many years ago, like, you know what I mean? But I do, like, now and again, I'll say to Nathan, I wonder if she ever, like, thinks about that. I wonder if she, and like, she comes round and she's like so sweet, and like she hugs us all and she'll give us a kiss, and you know, and it feels really warm and natural, and I'm quite happy and comfortable to, you know, give her a hug back and give her a kiss on the cheek and stuff. And Nathan's really friendly with her, and my mum and her have a hug, you know. But there is a little part of me that's just like, oh, I wonder if she, I wonder if she feel, you know, she feels awkward, but I don't think she does. I think she realised that I was an angry little teenager and upset and going through shit and just wanted to kind of get my anger out, you know. She probably doesn't even remember it. I don't know. I've got a good memory. I remember everything pretty much, but yeah, it's tough, you know. And if any of you are watching that you've been through, you know, your parents breaking up in the past, or if you're currently, you know, if you're younger and you're going through that now, it does get easier. It does get better. I'm proof of that because, you know, when I was that age going through my mum and dad's breakup, I didn't think it could get easier. I just thought, oh my God. And all the worries were there. I just kept, you know, getting very anxious and scared about the future and how we were going to cope. And you just cope. And I think single parents, I have so much respect. Well, I have much respect for everyone. Okay, as long as you're a nice person, I respect you. But when it comes to parenting, I think I've got so much respect, extra respect for single parents, you know, to cope the way they do on their own. And obviously, you know, some of them have got families that can help, some haven't. I mean, my mum was, you know, very lucky in the fact that once my dad kind of moved out and had gone, she was helped by my grandma and granddad, who, well, my grandma and granddad had kind of raised me since I was a little girl anyway. Like when my mum and dad were at work, they would, like, you know, look after me and stuff. Love them to bits, miss them so much. Both of them have passed away now, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my grandparents, because they were just like, they were like my sort of second mum and dad. They weren't just like a grandma or granddad you see now and again, you know, every couple of months or whatever. I saw them pretty much every day, spoke to them every day. And when they both died, a part of me died with them because I genuinely miss them. But yeah, she had them to help her raise me and, you know, go through all my kind of terrible teenage dramas and stress and, you know, and you know, in time it all kind of sorted out. So what I'm trying to say is if you've gone through it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not a nice thing, but you know, if your mum or your dad has cheated and there's been a marriage breakup and you want to kind of put all that blame, all that hate onto that parent that cheated, I know you're going to feel a bit angry, and do not ignore those feelings. Like, I'm never going to ignore the fact that I used to feel angry and that I used to have that hate, because it's natural. If you ignore that feeling, you'll never kind of, you know, heal and get over it and move on. But don't let that hate last forever, and realise that as horrible as it is, it's not you. You know, I used to think, oh, my dad's cheated because he doesn't want to be my dad anymore. He doesn't want to be around me. But looking back, it wasn't that. It's just that he wasn't happy with my mum and he was happy with the other lady. So, you know, you mustn't blame yourself. You mustn't feel guilty in any way or think it's you. It's just sometimes relationships don't work. Of course, they should split up before they cheat. You know, if you're not happy with someone, just move on. But as I say, life ain't simple. Life happens sometimes like that, and adultery, can't talk. Adultery, there we go, happens. So yeah, I mean, if you're with the parent who's been cheated on, like, give them lots of love and support and be there for them, and just try and give them as less stress as you can, because I probably didn't help the situation back then with my mum, you know, because I was always like, you know, causing drama and stress, and I was always like unwell, and she probably didn't need all that. Or I was just going up to bus stops and attacking people, you know. So just try and do everything to kind of keep their life easy. Do you know what I mean? Don't bring any extra stress. They don't need it. They're already dealing with enough. So there we go. So basically, it went from beating her up at a bus stop to actually really liking her, really caring her. You're caring about her, seeing her as a kind of like, you know, stepmom kind of figure, you know. Yeah. So that's my story time. I want to do more of these kind of story times. I think, you know, a lot of you do like my story time videos, and that's not said in a conceited way. That's said because you tell me in comments that I like your story times. And I like just kind of rambling about stuff. And, you know, being 38, I've been through lots of stuff in my life. Good things, bad things, funny things, you know. And I've got plenty of stories to tell you. So let me know if you want me to do more of these. And, you know, I'll just think of some random things that I've done and tell you about them. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for watching, and do not beat anyone up at a bus stop or anywhere else for that matter. And yeah, please click like, comment, subscribe, and check out my social media as well. So down below are all the links to my social media. So Instagram is minxlaura123, Twitter is @minxlaura123, Facebook is minx.laura.5, and if you're a bookworm like myself, come and follow me on Goodreads, and you can see what books I've read, what books I want to read. So many books I want to read, and that kind of thing. So all links down below. And one more thing before I go, I'm sorry I'm rambling. Yeah, I also have another YouTube channel, so it'd be really cool if you could come and check that out and subscribe. Subscribe to both my channels. So that's called minxlaura123 ASMR, and on that channel I do ASMR videos to help people with anxiety, insomnia, help you sleep, help you chill out and relax. And some people, when they watch the videos, they get a pleasant tingly sensation in their scalp. I mean, you know, come on, give it a go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. Lots of love. Mwah.